It's the young honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it.
You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The first game's out of the way. Head, and we're off in week 2. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
The thing I like most about Derek Carr's game is not just the right arm and his touch and his ability to find receivers. I think it's his calmness, and I think that transmits itself very well to the rest of the team. They feed off of that, and they go out and play with confidence.
Throwing on first down is Carr, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Quickly now a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
When I see Latavius Murray with the ball in his hands, I think that he's a dangerous player. He has good speed, good presence to run inside, nice toughness, and good vision that once he gets past the first line of defense, he can make a guy miss and turn it into a bigger game.
On 2nd and 10, Carr nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it'll be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they're in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Time to peek at the defensive starters. Here they are for Philadelphia. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
Give them a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Check right, 27. Check right.
4th down. Here's Jackson. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that is going to be incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run with Murray, and he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. You know, projections for him were a little all over the board. Some saw him as a day 3 pick, maybe a little bit higher, but here he is, round 3.
I do know teams that had him listed as a 1st-round talent. I also had teams that had him listed as a day 3 guy, which is rounds 4 through 7. So him going in the 3rd round kind of fit in the middle. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder wanting to prove that he should have been taken higher.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting org.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately. I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Now, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times. And
it's caught inside the 25. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Harris Campbell, 85 yards, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. The game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Gonzalez good on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up the 1st down and change our momentum?
That throw into the arms of Allen, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards is the pickup, good for an Eagle 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Carr turns, hands to Murray. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. That's caught out wide by Stills. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to have a third down.
56.
Throwing his Carr on third down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Here's Carr, and he is going to go down for the 5th time tonight, and this one is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Now Jackson on first down, forced out to his left. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it. Jackson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Kenny Stills, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker Jordan Hicks. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. After the sack on first down, Carr. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third, and the pressure gets to him again. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They've got the lead right now in this ball game, and they got the victory last week against the Rams, so some good momentum as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Balaj. And he gets this to the 30. Good for a gain of 5.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 11 yards there and a first.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Once again, it's Jacobs. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Hubbard, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that makes this a 9-point game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Murray. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question, Latavius Murray, past the 20, touchdown, Philadelphia. Latavius Murray, his first touchdown of the new season, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
So what did you say earlier, my man? You said one big play away from getting back in this game. And guess what? There it was.
Yeah, we talked about it, that despite the scoreline, they were that close on the road, and boom, there you go.
Well done, Nostradamus.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates with a Latavius Murray touchdown run. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. A first down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. Catch made here by Campbell. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Here's Jackson to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. From a yard out. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. Out the throw.
So the drive there took 6 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
A good throw here, finding Pascal. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. Thank goodness. That means this next drive is going to begin 1st and goal already at the 5-yard line. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Paris Campbell. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 2nd and long. Carr. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. And he's going to go down again. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Yeah, that's a pretty good one for the old average. 68 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Buying time to his left. He'll try and run it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. They go play action now. Jackson. That's complete to his speedy wideout Goodwin. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check Mike 27. Check Mike 27.
They go play action with Jackson. Looking for Campbell downfield. This is caught at the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly. There. They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But that's the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
But in that case, run it up.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They're down big here late. I don't know. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now another timeout called for by the offense as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Need something for deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Pressure coming, and this is a booming kick. This is fielded at the 27.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So they'll walk him back half the distance. So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. One final try now for Carr. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on